Time for looking at Axios AM, and joining us from Washington is national political reporter for Axios, Jonathan Swan. Jonathan, good morning to you. So fill us in on what Axios' one big thing is for this morning.
It's a scoop from my colleague Mike Allen and I. It's Don McGahn, the White House counsel, will be stepping down this fall, according to senior White House officials and sources close to McGahn. We've spoken to a number of people at the top level of the administration. The person everyone without exception wants to replace Don McGahn is Emmett Flood, who was brought in May to represent the president from inside the White House on the Mueller probe. Don McGahn himself wanted Emmett Flood to be his successor. He told a confidant that he had the perfect blend of skills to handle what's surely coming next year if the Democrats win the House, which is a blizzard of subpoenas and congressional investigations and potentially impeachment proceedings.
So talk to us a little bit about the timing of McGahn's pending decision to depart. Is this your assessment that it's a mutual decision? Do you think he was a little bit pressured to leave? We know he made some headlines a few weeks ago when it was revealed that he had been speaking to the Mueller probe and had sat down for nearly 30 hours or so of interviews with Bob Mueller's team.
Our understanding is the timing has not been entirely set. It's either going to be after the Kavanaugh confirmation for the Supreme Court or after the midterm elections, but it's going to be later this fall. His relationship with President Trump has never been particularly good since joining the White House. The president, according to people who've watched the two of them interact, gets very frustrated with him, tears shreds off him often in conversation, feels that Don McGahn doesn't give him the answers he wants. Defenders of McGahn say, well, he's handling a very trying situation with a president who's often asking him to do illegal things. So it's very difficult being this president's lawyer. But it hasn't been a particularly good relationship, perhaps sometimes over-sensationalized, but, you know, there have been strains. However, Don McGahn has done very well for the president on judicial selections. They've done a record pace of confirmations of judges at the federal level, and also, of course, he's about to potentially confirm or select and confirm the second Supreme Court justice. So on that and deregulation, he's accomplished a lot.
Yeah, you touched on it a little bit about his successor, who could replace him there, and the challenges, especially when it comes after the midterms, the Democrats take control. But what else is there on the broader scope that we're looking at? And are there any other names that may come in the last minute that we may see?
So Emmett Flood, I should stress, my understanding is nothing's been formalized. That's know that from a senior source. But he is a nobody. That nobody on the horizon would get the opportunity ahead of him. He represented Bill Clinton during the impeachment proceedings. He joined the George W. Bush administration in the second term for 2 years to handle congressional investigations. There is nobody in Washington of his caliber who would be willing to serve in the Trump White House and serve this president, who can handle the blizzard of investigations that are surely coming their way.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably one of the toughest positions in Washington, anticipating everything that may be coming down the pipeline. All right. Jonathan Swan, thank you very much. Of course, going to be reading Axios AM in just a little bit. And to all of our viewers out there, you too can sign up for the newsletter at signup.axios.com.
And that does it for us on this Wednesday morning.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.